Hey, Manna fam, welcome back. This week we've been going through essential elements of biblical trust. I'm really excited to close that out with you today. Yesterday we discussed character, how that helps build trust. Today we're closing out with track record, how a good track record can build trust and a bad one can destroy it. The two verses I want us to explore today are 1 Corinthians 15, verse 58, and Galatians 6:9. 1 Corinthians starts off, "Therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labor is not in vain." In Galatians chapter 6, verse 9 reads, "And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." In both of these verses, we see that consistency over time has impact. It builds trust. And no one bats 1,000. We're not expecting you to be perfect, but we should seek and strive to be consistent in our walk with God. In other words, we need to develop a good track record if we expect others to trust us. And similarly, you need to expect and even demand a good track record of others you seek to interact with and trust. You wouldn't want to be represented by a lawyer who loses 90% of his cases. You wouldn't want to be operated on by a doctor who succeeds only 50% of the time. Track records matter when determining whether or not to trust someone and how much to trust them. I'll give you an example. There was a week where I had two different subordinates make pretty similar mistakes on the same day. And the two mistakes, they were similar in impact, but my reaction to the two different people was vastly different, and it was all because of their respective track records. You see, person A had made a mistake that I'd seen them make a number of times and corrected on them, and I hadn't seen them improve. In other words, they had a bad track record. So when this mistake happened and it came to my attention, I was pretty hard on them. I said, "Hey, look, this isn't the first time this happened. You've been given multiple opportunities to correct and you haven't." And so they received a significantly different response than person B, who made a mistake I'd never seen before. And also they had a track record of when they did make mistakes, they were instantly coachable. I never saw them make that mistake again. In other words, that they had a positive track record of performance. And so with that person, my reaction was very much more, "Hey, understand that you didn't mean to do this. This is the first time you've done it. I understand there were variables outside of you that led to this mistake happening. Here's what we can do to ensure that this doesn't happen again next time." So in other words, their two respective track records actually impacted the amount of trust I had in those two people, even though the mistakes that were made were similar in nature and gravity. So as we seek to build trust, we need to strive to be consistent in building up a strong track record as righteous believers above reproach. As we determine when to give or withhold trust, let's be discerning in how we evaluate a person's track record. Take care, Manna fam. I hope that this week has been helpful in giving you a better understanding of how to exercise biblical trust, of how to earn trust, of how to regain it if it's been lost. And yeah, I'll see you around.